But wait. You want me to finish? You want me to put the nail to the coffin of that false doctrine for you? You want me to put it? If you want me to put the nail to that false doctrine, find 2 Peter chapter 2, 4 to 6 with me. 2 Peter chapter 2, 4 to 6. 2 Peter chapter 2, 4 to 6. Find that with me, my dear brethren. Second Peter chapter 2, 4 to 6. Right? Somebody tell me, Marvin Paul, tell me, put the nail, Brother Medina. All right, here we go now. Watch this, watch. 2 Peter 2, 4 to 6. I quote, "For if God spared not the angels that sinned, but cast them down to hell," right? That's tataru. That's the Greek word, not hell, like in a pit on the ground, tataru. That is, cast them down on the earth in a parallel world on this earth. So tataru is a parallel world on this earth, right? But cast them down to hell, tataru, and delivered them into chains of darkness on this earth, to be reserved unto the judgment. And spared not the whole world, but saved Noah, the eighth person, a preacher of righteousness, bringing in the flood upon the world of the ungodly. And verse 6, and turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemned them with an overthrow, making an example of those that should afterwards live ungodly. So what does the tree, the angels from heaven, the people in the days of the flood, and the people in the days of Sodom and Gomorrah, what do they all have in common? And Brother Lyndon Mark, hello my dear brother, he said you all make that sound easy. It's not that easy, but I hear Sir Medina, let me tell you something, brother, it's that easy. You do not know, but I know. We could tell you. You see, that is the problem. You all have to learn to live on this sinful earth, easy in righteousness, but facing pressure from the devil. You have to learn with confidence. So Sister Makisha Sutherland answered and said they all had sin as the problem. Yes, all of them had sin as the problem. But wait! Look, the angels sinned. They didn't even have flesh. Look, angels sin. Angels in heaven sin. They did not even have flesh. So it's not flesh that makes you sin. It is not flesh that makes you sin. Angels sin. The world before the flood sin. Sodom and Gomorrah sin. The world before the flood, Sodom and Gomorrah had flesh. Angels didn't have flesh. And look, angels sin. If angels that didn't have flesh sin, and Adam and Eve that had sin-free flesh sin, it means the problem that causes sin is not the flesh. If it was the flesh, then angels would not have been able to sin. Did you get that clear? Did you get that clear? We want to rub it in your mind and disabuse your mind, that you wouldn't have this mass formation psychosis like they push upon people from the king of the south in event 201 real, so that you wouldn't have that mass psychosis. You got to break it. You got to disabuse your mind. Your mind must understand, look, I may sin, I am doing wrong sometimes. The problem is not the flesh. You're going to get that clear. The problem is not the flesh. Because if the problem is the flesh, you will wait until Christ come and give you holy flesh to think then you will be free from sin. But you come in and meet in sin in you, and the glory of God will consume you with your sins. Don't study Lauriston. Lauriston is a blind fool. He don't know nothing. He's blind, and he's even more blind than the average Adventist. Did you get that clear, my dear brethren? Did you get that clear? That's right. So you got to stop here now. And every one of you, including you, Mr. Mac, and every one of you that wants think, oh, this thing's so hard, and it's so hard, be patient with yourself until you learn to get reoriented in your thinking, that you will be able to handle the issue. And this church will help you, because this church has the theology. This church has the biblical concept to help in it. Did you get that clear? Now watch something here. Watch something here. Watch this here. All right? So, watch me. Jesus come. Watch the lineup. Jesus come in sinful flesh, like you and I have. He didn't sin. He come to address sin in that flesh. And he destroys sin in the flesh. And leave a way open for the righteousness of the Lord to be fulfilled in your flesh. Point number one. Adam and Eve had sin-free flesh. No sin. Yet they fell into sin. Point number three. Angels in heaven sin. And they don't even have flesh. They don't even have flesh. So you know what? You got to change in your whole concept. The problem with sin is not the flesh. The flesh has a part to play later. But God already have a way to deal with the flesh. And you got to learn that. You see, I had to kneel and pray and fight and struggle with my mind over and over and over to disabuse myself of that doctrine. Look at me, I never even come from a Christian church. I was just a Catholic, not even knowing what Catholicism teach. And I find myself believing that same teaching. Where did I learn it from? God in heaven knows, I don't even know. But it became part and parcel of the human system. I lie down on my bed late in the night some years ago, and I'm thinking about where this thing comes from, and God showed me the whole of the Western Europe since the days of the Roman Empire. That teaching went into the subconscious mind of people and remained there as a part of the knowledge products in people's mind that they don't even know, because they have a lot of knowledge in their mind they don't even know. And that it was part of the database of your mind. That's right. It was part and parcel there. And that we naturally expect to operate that way. And he had to disabuse my mind from it. And I thank God for that freedom. You dear, disabuse your mind from that false doctrine. Get it out. Because that's what the guy presents in his false theology. Get it out. The flesh is not your problem. If you say, but look, I'm feeling the flesh. Hey, hold on there. We got to interpret that for you from the Bible, that you would see where the flesh came in. And that you would see the issue wasn't the flesh. Okay? We got to wipe the CPU indeed.